Now, you'll remember her from Delhi Belly, but you'll also remember her from Ye Jawani Hai Diwani when she says, "What you're looking at, Kabir." She doesn't
She knows
remember
all
it.
the lines for some
She doesn't
random reason.
Welcome to the Quint, Poorna.
Thank you.
So let's just dive straight right into it. You'll be in Big Little Lies soon.
Yes.
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 And tell us, what was it like on the set with Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep?
Yes.
What was it all like?
Everyone kept asking me, was it so much fun? Apparently there's so much laughing on set. I come into the story when, the shit just hits the fan. It was a really, really tense set.
Right. And I read somewhere that they were actually looking for a white actor.
I don't know if they were looking for a white. I think their casting net was pretty open with this. When I went into audition, there were 2 other Caucasian actresses in the room. But I think they were pretty open, because actors kind of have been said. There's very few new characters coming in. I know they were really fighting hard to get more diversity on this show.
And you were in tune with Big Little Lies from the beginning.
I was beyond in tune. I started watching Big Little Lies on the airplane because I'm too cheap to get an HBO subscription. After, I think, episode 3, I went home and got an HBO subscription because I was like, this show is really good.
Right. And any stories related to Meryl Streep? Did she try to ease you up in any way?
I was just so, because we were sitting next to each other for most of my shoot, and we chat, and at some point I asked her how do actors deal with, do they just go crazy with you, or do they go nuts? And then I said, have you ever been nervous? And then she told me about the time that years ago when Al Pacino just became, Al Pacino, and Meryl Streep's husband was like, I just invited Al over to lunch, and, she just had a heart attack and she was shaking while cooking and just oh my God.
And you'll also be seen in Mindy Kaling's Netflix original.
Yes.
Tell us, what was that like?
Look, I'll tell you the premise of the show. It revolves around my daughter. Her name is Devi. Devi's 15. In high school, and she is an Indian girl and just trying to get laid, you know what I mean? Which all of us can relate to, and just trying to be popular, and she's super smart and just trying to really fit in, And I play her very, very, very funny and unaccommodating mom. And I really relate to the character. It's definitely how I parent my 13-year-old, so there was a lot in common.
And you also went on to produce Nirbhaya.
Yeah.
Just want to ask you and understand from you, do you think content has a responsibility to give a message out there? Because we see a lot of content in India as well, where directors, producers are not taking as much responsibility. Do you think that's important?
I think it's important to do what moves you. I mean, I'm not here to tell any director or actor or anyone what you should or you shouldn't do and what should be important to you, It was important to me. Wherever it's important, they have found a way to integrate that into their work.
Do you look for that in the scripts that you choose?
Always, yeah. If there's a script about sexual violence, I will be drawn to it. And it's the reason why I was also drawn to Big Little Lies. There is a huge theme, obviously, of sexual violence and domestic violence, and I grew up with both. So I was drawn to Big Little Lies from a very personal perspective as well.
Right. Any Indian web series that you probably have followed in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I've been following Delhi Crime and Made in Heaven. I thought both were excellent. It's what happens is you always say, oh, that was a really good series, and then you add for India. There's a particular standard that we can't go above, and that's not true. We have extremely talented people here.
So let's just slipping into the fun part of this.
Yeah.
As Indian origin.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the things that you hear all the time when you're traveling abroad?
I hear chai tea a lot. And
chai tea is basically saying chai chai.
Chai chai, yeah. And that drives me a little crazy.
And what brings you here to India?
I'm here to visit my in-laws, first and foremost. So that happened in Kerala. And then I haven't been back to Bombay. I used to live here for many years. I hadn't been back for 3 years since I moved. And I really missed it. I've missed my friends, I've missed the crowds, I've missed the fact that someone stands right here in the line, right here.
No personal space whatsoever.
I've missed stuff like that,
You miss it?
Just for a day, I think. It happened the other day and I was like, it's funny, you know. You have to have a great sense of humor to live in this country, I think.
Any moments of, oh, is that her? Any moments of that on the streets?
No, I think Delhi Belly happened a long time ago, and there's some vague familiarity, but you know, they're more like, what wedding did I see you at? Yeah.
It has been a nice chat. Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this with us,
you.
Poorna, and Big Little Lies and Minty Kaling's Nice.
Awesome.